Alright, today we're going to take a look at creating a gasket design, also a few new tools and a few reminders. So let's start by navigating to our CAD folder and opening up our title box. A couple of the tools we're going to take a look at is going to be the fillet tool and the polyline tool today, as well as how to set the drawing units for precision. So once we open this up to set drawing units, we'll come up to the application status menu. We'll come to drawing utilities and units, and we can change the precision here. How many zeros are after the decimal place? We're going to drop it down to 2. That's all we need for this drawing. The other thing I wanted to point out down here on this toolbar at the bottom corner of your screen, there's a couple things here that could be of use to us as we continue to look at CAD. And one would be the Ortho Mode. To use Ortho Mode, you'll check it on, and when you click to draw a line, it'll only draw it horizontally or vertically. Alright, it's not going to let us draw in any other angle. So if we're drawing really square parts or boxy parts, we can turn that off or on as we draw. So if I wanted that to be horizontal, I can turn it on. If I need to draw some weird angle, turn it off. Then I can turn it back on and draw another horizontal line. Okay, so that's a handy tool to use. Just keep in mind when you turn it on, it turns off the polar tracking. Just go back and forth between those two tools. To start this drawing, I'm going to grab my line tool now, and I'm going to start over here kind of to the top left of my drawing area. I'm going to come down 2 inches, push to the right, type in 1 inch, and I'm going to come back down another 2.5 inches. From here I'm going to come over horizontally 6 more inches, press escape, grab another line up here at the top. I'm going to come over 7.5 inches. Alright, press escape. At the end point here, this top end point, I'm going to grab my circle radius tool and snap to that. I'm going to draw a circle with a radius of 1.5. Now you see we kind of ran over in our border area. I'm going to highlight this whole drawing, just the lines I created today, not my border. I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to select a base point, and I'm going to drag it down just to make everything fit. Okay, looks good. I'm going to grab my line tool and finish this up by snapping to this other endpoint down here, and I'm going to snap tangentially to my circle. Press escape. I'm going to do the trim tool now and trim up this area. I'm going to highlight just this section of the drawing here. Press enter. Trim away this piece of line and this piece of the circle. Once I have that done, I want to come in here and create some roundovers, okay, or fillets as they're called in CAD. To do that, I'll come up here to modify and choose fillet. Taking a look at the command bar area down here, I can see that my radius is set to 0, and when it's set to 0, it's going to connect 2 lines via 90 degrees, alright, which can come in handy at some time as we draw, but for right now we want to override that by changing the radius. Choosing that, I can either type an R and hit enter, or I can just click the word radius, and I'm going to change that to 0.25. Round over these 2 lines here. Just pay attention on the screen. I'm going to repeat that command. I'm going to change the radius again to 1 inch. Press enter. I'm going to round over these 2 here where the circle meets the horizontal line up top. I'm going to do this one more time, changing the radius a 3rd time to 0.75. I'm going to round over this line here to this bottom horizontal line. The next step that I want to do is offset all of this to create an area where fluid or air could pass through if this was a gasket used in a small engine. To do that, I could offset each one of these pieces, then trim, but to make this go a little faster, we're going to turn this into a polyline so it's all one piece of line geometry. To do that, I'm going to come up here to modify, choose the drop down. I'm going to say edit the polyline. To edit a polyline, first I need to select a regular line, doesn't matter which one. Then it asks me, do I want to turn it into a polyline? I'm going to say yes, and it defaults to yes, because otherwise why would you use the tool? So I'll press enter. Then it says, how do you want to join this? Or what do you want to do with it? And we're going to join it. So after you choose join, I'm going to click all my other pieces of the line going around. Make sure you choose the roundovers. Whoops, I missed. And you don't need to select this one again, or whichever one you started with. After you've selected them all, you should see that you have a total of 10, 1 original and 9 additional ones. And press enter. then I'll hit escape. Now if I hover over the line, it highlights the whole thing. If it doesn't on yours, you need to go back and redo this step. Alright, once you have that, we can come up here and do an offset. Our offset is going to be a 1/2 inch. We're going to choose this polyline, and we're going to click inward. So now this area here would be open, and air or some kind of like antifreeze or coolant could pass through there depending on where this was used in a motor. The last step that we want to do is do a final fillet. So choose that. I'm going to change the radius a 4th time to 0.5. And I'm going to fillet this little corner down here to round that over. So once you have that, you just need to title it and call it the Gasket Design, add a date, and save it.